speaks about the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and various other childhood pastimes. So Lord was constantly surrounded by the people. And they were also surrounded by even demigods also. They used to do some nutcut, mischief things. Kone deva lakshita grahete sambhaya chaya dekhi sabe bole yehi chorahaya. Sometimes they used to enter very secretly. And when the people used to see their shadow, they used to say, hey, there is a chor has come. Narasimha Narasimha keha hare dhvani aparajitara stotra karo mukeshwani. Somebody used to chant Narasimha, Narasimha. And somebody used to suddenly offer prayers to Aparajita. Aparajita is one of the name of goddess Durga. So it was a common practice at that time to chant the name of Narasimha to be delivered from danger. Today I was chanting Narasimha prayers to Purushottam Prabhu. He is undergoing now open heart surgery. Because it's Narasimha who actually relieves the fear first. There is always a fear in the heart. He removes a person from the fear. He removes a person from the danger. So people who were attached to the worship of Durga, they chanted the prayers to goddess Aparajita. Nana mantre ke hodasa digbandha kore uthila parama kalarava shuchi ghare. And someone else would protect the 10 directions by mantra. These are swasti mantras, protecting the 10 sides. In this way, commotion arose in the house of Mother Sachi. These demigods, they were very mischievous. They wanted to take darshan. So they used to come very secretly. So when somebody used to see the shadow, they used to think, oh, Bhuta has come or what. So immediately they used to call Narasimha, Narasimha, Durga, Durga in this way. And then somebody used to do the Swasti version for the 10 directions. Prabhu deki grahera bahira deva yaya sabha bole yehi mata ashayo palaya. As the demigods left the house after seeing the Lord, everyone chanted, see, there he goes, there he goes. Oh, our prayers have come to use now. Why? So they used to chant that, see, he has at last ran away. So in this way, they used to again say, catch him. There he goes. Keho bole dhara dhara. Yehi chorayaya. See the thief is gone. Catch him. Narasimha. Kahe takaya sadaya. And somebody used to repeatedly chant Narasimha. Today all should chant Narasimha mantra. We'll chant Narasimha shloka after the class for good health of the successful operation for Purushottam Prabhu. So Narasimha, all is to chant. Kona ojhak bole, aji edaila bala, hala inna janis Narsimhera pratapa vishala. One person told, you're lucky you escaped, or you don't know the power of Narasimha. The word ojha is a corruption of the word upadhyaya. People with such a name are generally physicians, expert in chanting the mantras to treat those suffering from ghosts, evil spirits, tantrics, you can say, and snake bites. The great potency of the Narasimha mantra is fierce and unbearable for ghosts, evil spirits, and apparitions. Now see, even the tantrics, they chant Narasimha. Sometimes you say, why this all tantric puja and all? Somebody is haunted by the ghost. What he will do? He has to go to that physician and they know how to treat him. There's a temple in Dattatraya's place. It starts with G. If anybody knows the name, the nice name comes. Gangapur. There are also those who are haunted by the ghost, evil spirits. Then they are tied to the tree, Audumbar. Dattatreya stays in Audumbar. And then they are beaten. And in this way, the evil spirits are removed. So they are technically they're physicians, you can say. When we say Tantris, immediately we think, oh, they are all non-Vaishnavas. They're helping Krishna in many things. They're also helping a jiva who is suffering. Sheikhane Thakideva Hase Alakshita Paripurna Haila Maseka Yehi Mata. The demigods, they remain in an unmanifested form there. And in this way, they used to laugh. When they used to see these people, they used to laugh. But they knew they are not the ghosts. They came to see the darshan. And in this way, 1 month passed. That means, practically, for 1 month, the demigods were actually going and taking darshan there. Now, Balaka Uthana Parve Yata Yatanari Gana Shachi Sange Ganga Snane Karila Gamana. So on the occasion of the child's coming out of the maternity room, the ladies accompanied Sati Devi to the Ganga for a bath. So after 1 month, the mother and the child is given a proper bath. Till the time sponging and all will go on, because they should not catch cold. The body is very, very prone to get cold. Very sensitive body. That is why after delivery, the mother and the child, they are taken care, especially mother's food and all this is taken care. The word Balaka Utthana Parve. This is known as Balaka Utthana. When the child is brought out of the maternity room, this is Balaka Utthana Parve. One is known as Utthana. Utthana, we have Utthana Ekadashi. When Lord just turned his turned his back. In ancient times, the mother had to remain in the maternity room for 4 months after the child was born. 4 months. This occasion is also known as Surya Darshan Sanskara, or seeing the sun for the first time. Now, after delivery, if in 15 days after, the mother goes here and there. After 1 month, the mother even sometimes starts going to the office also. So that is very harmful. In the long run, the mother's health deteriorates. For 4 months, the mother is given a complete rest. In fact, she is there in the one room only. No outsiders are allowed to even touch the baby, because the baby is very common. The baby's body is very, very sensitive. Anybody comes, touches the baby. Nowadays, this is a trend. I saw a crèche where small children were put. My friend took me for the opening ceremony of her crèche. When I went there, I was horrified. Small babies, 2 months, 3 months baby. They were tied and they were all kept. 25 babies I saw. I thought, what is this? They were all practically looking like dead bodies. I was so horrified to see. I cannot forget how the mothers are just putting them in the crèche. Actually, outsiders should not even touch them. My mother used to say, I still remember, not to touch. Even if you want to touch, first go and take bath. The fathers only are allowed to touch, that too, very for maybe 2-3 minutes, not more than that. Not that everybody comes and touches the baby. The baby is like a pickle. You know that pickle? When the pickle is put, you're not supposed to touch. When the pickle is put, you're not supposed to expose it. In the same way, this tender baby, when the baby comes, he or she, it's so tender that anybody should not touch the baby. Mother and the baby completely, they are kept in a separate room, and dhoop and all is put in that room. It has now been established that after childbirth, Brahmana mothers are contaminated for 21 days and Shudras mothers are contaminated for 1 month. At the time of Sriman Mahaprabhu, the period of contamination of the mother of a newborn child was 1 month, as confirmed in verse 17, Paripurna Haila Masika Yei Mate. In this way, 1 month passed. Later on, Sachimata, the wife of one Rama Sharanapala, came out of the maternity room right after giving birth, on the grounds that the child was a gift from Lord Hari. Aula Sahajya sect, Rama Sharanpala. Later on, Sachima, the wife of one Rama Sharanpala of the Aula Sahajya sect, came out of the matric womb right after giving birth on the grounds that the child was a gift of Lord Hari. You have to do the research on this line. Anyhow, so let me check why Sachima is said to be the wife of one Rama Pala of the Aula Sahajya sect. Maybe the name of Jagannath Mishra is Rama Pala. I have to check that. I'll just check that and tomorrow I'll let you know that. So now this contamination, when we say 21 days, 1 month, but they are not allowed to go to the temple, they're not allowed to touch. It is like another sutak only. When somebody goes also, there is sutak. When somebody is born also, there is sutak. And what is this contamination is the bleeding doesn't stop. The bleeding goes on. Even when the cow, the baby calf is born, at that time, the calf is born, at that time also, the mother, the cow's milk is not drunk. It's only given to the calf. Because the bleeding sometimes happens. Now, one of our cow gave birth, for 1 month, there was bleeding. So in the same way here also, mothers have this bleeding. Now, Brahmana mother, Shudra mother. Why there is a difference? Brahmana's mothers are generally, they take, their ahara is very sattvic. Because of that, the body remains cool. And because of that, the bleeding stops very fast. Shudra's mothers, because their ahara is very much tamasic, naturally, the bleeding also happens for a long time. Very simple. Vadyagata kolahala kari ganga sthana age ganga puji tabe gela shashti sthana. So as they went for bath, they sang. They sang and played musical instrument. They first worshipped Ganga and then went to worship goddess Shashti. Shashti is an imaginary village goddess, Kuladevi. This imaginary village goddess is worshipped to ensure that a child will not die early and will live up to 60 years. People say that the goddess Shashti is to be worshipped on the 6th day after the child is born. So here also we have, for the children, there is Devi. They will go and worship the Devi for the children. So she protects the child. This is part of Nishkramana Sanskara. They're all very important sanskaras. The occasion of coming out of maternity room. The first time they go to the temple. The word Shashti Sthana refers to a place beneath either a peepal tree or a banyan tree where God Shashti is seated on a cat holding a newborn child on her lap. That is the form she has taken. Yatha vidhi puji sabha devera charana ailena garhe paripurna nari gana. So after worshipping the feet of all the gods, the lady is returning home feeling satisfied. Now they are satisfied. Why? We have given nice Swasti Kavach for our child. Every mother likes to give. Every mother wants to give Swasti Vachan, protect the child. And that is only the mother's quality. If that quality is not there, then she is not a mother. According to the monist philosophy, this is the method of worshipping the absolute truth. Now, worshipping the feet of ordinary demigods is a mundane practice. This is also called idol worship. According to monist philosophy, this is the method of worshipping the absolute truth with qualities saguna. According to unalloyed devotees of Vishnu, however, all the demigods and demigoddesses are constitutionally servants of Lord Vishnu and part and parcel of Vishnu. The literal occupation is to serve Lord Vishnu. So, idol worship, yes, the demigods, deities, you can say, they are worshipped. So the worshippers of demigods, they worship with a lot of bhava. They will do a lot of meditation, a lot of tapasya. And according to monist philosophy, what it is, for them everything is God. Okay, they are worshipping the absolute truth. But the devotees of Vishnu, they know that this is demigod worship. And every demigod is a servant of Krishna. So when they see a deity worship of a demigod, They are not envious. Why? They are seeing the demigods as servant of Lord. Khai, khai kala, taila, sindura guyapana, sabara dilena, yai ai, kariya samana, sammana. So now whoever had come, Sachimata distributed roaster paddy, bananas, mustard oil, sindur, vermilion, betel nut, supari, pan to the ladies. This is one of the most auspicious things. And it should be done. These all things should not be given up. Sometimes on the name of Krishna consciousness, we give up all these things. That is also wrong. Because Sarvatmanaya Sharanam Sharanyam Gato Mukundam Pahritta Kartam. If everything completely is given to Krishna, then we should understand. Every time is given to Krishna. One need not do all these things, but there is no harm in doing anything. If we are not completely surrendered to Krishna, at least do something. Then understand that these are all the auspicious things. When some lady is coming to your house, put vermilion, no? Give kumkum. There's nothing wrong in that. Applying kumkum, giving pan, supari. When you say we don't eat na pan, we don't eat, but you can give pan, supari. They're all auspicious. Especially pan is given to a mother who is pregnant, because in that little bit chuna is put so that the milk comes profusely. That is why pan is taken, and that the digestion also happens, because a lot of indigestion is there after the pregnancy. So as a medicine, it is recommended for 2-3 months the mother should give the daughters, or the mother-in-law should give the daughter-in-law some pan and tuna, so that calcium is not less and the digestion happens. But for sense gratification, you need not have to take. For Lord, every day pan is offered in the temples. It was an opening ceremony, I still remember. Somebody told me, Mataji, pan. I said, no, we cannot take. It's offered to Radha Girdhari. I said, I know, but you can distribute to somebody else. Are you know, Kamalashan Prabhuji also we gave, and everybody has taken. I said, okay. If Prabhuji is also taken, Kamalashan Prabhuji is also taken, if my Shiksha Guru has taken, then if not a problem, I'll also take. After I took, they all clapped hands. Yes, 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 we fooled you. I said, no problem. Even if you have fooled me also, it doesn't matter. So little bit that time I had taken. I still remember. But what is given to Lord is some gulkan in the palm. It helps in the digestion of the food. But we don't have to take that, because we may take it like a sense gratification. But there is some digestion problem, then it is recommended in even Ayurveda, you can take some pan as a medicine. But generally we avoid, because Srila Prabhupada has told us to avoid. Balakera, Ashishiya, Sarvanarigana, Chalilena, Grahevandi, Airacharana. Then all the ladies, after being respectfully treated by Shashimata, they bless the child. Suhagan worship is done in every Brahmin's house. In every custom it is done. This is one of the sanskara. They offered obeisances to Mother Sachi and departed for their respective homes. He namate vaise Prabhu apanalilaya ketane janite pare yadi na janaya. So in this way, the Lord performed his pastimes. Who can understand them without being inspired by the Lord? So if you see, these are all small pastimes, but they are very important pastimes. And these pastimes, to understand these pastimes, it's only Lord's mercy. Lord gives an inspiration. Karaite chahe Prabhu apana kirtana itad arthe kore Prabhu saghani rodana. So everybody started chanting the holy name. He wanted them to chant. Then he started crying. That means what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, that in all types of traditional customs, chant the holy name. You don't have to give up any traditional customs, do it. But most important is chanting the holy name. Audience of Srila Prabhupada were foreigners. Prabhupada cannot confuse them. For Prabhupada also, so many sanskaras were done. So our Hindu culture has a lot of sanskaras. There is no Nothing wrong in following the sanskaras. We have to do it. But at the same time, we should know the position of the demigods. But in foreign culture, the audience were the foreigners, and if these are things are introduced to them, giving pan, supari, doing the suhagan worship, they will be completely confused. That is why Prabhupada said, only chant the holy name and be happy. But you cannot skip out because you know the importance. Your mother, your grandmothers have done this. Any suhagan comes in the house, immediately worship suhagan. Suhagan worship is very, very important. Even Sachimata went to Kuladevi. Generally, we don't worship Kuladevi. Kuladevi, Kulaswami, they have to be worshipped. There's nothing wrong in it. At the same time, we should know the Supreme Lord is Krishna. Yata yata prabhuta karaya, kare narigana, prabhu puna puna kari karaye krandana. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted them to chant, not just be stuck to the traditional customs. So that is the purpose he started crying. Then they tried to pacify. More he started chanting. More he started crying. Hari Hari Bali Yadi Dake Sarvajane Tabe Prabhu Hasichana Shri Chandra Vandane. Then they started chanting the holy name of Hari. The Lord would look at them with his moon-like face and smile. Janiya Prabhu Rachitta Sarvajani Janameli Sadai Balena Hari Diya Karatali. Then they started clapping the hands and chanting the holy name of Krishna. Anande Karaye Savik Hari Kartana Hari Sankirtana Hari Nama Purna Haila Sachira Bhavana. So all were engrossed in chanting the holy name of Krishna. The whole house was filled with the name of Hari 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 Hari. यही मत वैसे प्रभु जगन्नाथ घरे गुप्त भावे गोपालेर प्राय केली करे. So while residing in the house of Jagannath Mishra in this way, the Lord secretly performed pastimes similar to those of Gopala Krishna. He is son of Nanda Baba. The same son of Nanda Baba has appeared as a son of Jagannath Mishra. Jagannath Mishra is non-different than Nanda Baba. Ye samaya, some places they say Jagannath Mishra is Vasudeva. Doesn't matter. Ye samaya yakhana nath thake ke hagare ye kichu thakaye घरे सकल बिठारे विठारिया सकल फेलाय चारी भीते सर्व घर भरे थैला दुग्ध खोला कृते. So what are the activities which Chaitanya did like Nanda Krishna or Nanda Gopal? When nobody is to be there, he was to scatter here and there and then pour oil, milk, buttermilk, ghee on the floor. The word Vithari is a corruption of the word Vistara, or scattered here and there. Bhite means bhiti. That means in all directions. He used to scatter ghee, buttermilk. Krishna also used to do the same thing. Janani aise, hena jani apane, shayane achena, prabhu karena rodana. So when he understood mother is coming, he would lie down and begin to cry. He used to do all the mischief. Then he used to think, oh, if mother comes, she'll scold me. He used to sit and cry. So lie down and cry. Hari Hari Paliya Santvana Karimaya Ghare Dekhe Sab Dravya Gadagati Haya Aya. She used to sit and pacify, and then she used to look around and what is this? There's a big mess in the house. And she used to inquire. Ke felile Sarvagrahe Dhanya Chalu Mugda Bhandera Sahita Dekhe Bhanga Dadhi Dukta. Hey, who scattered this paddy, rice, dal all over the house? And what is this? Pots of yogurt and milk, they are broken. Who did this? Chalu means rice. Sabechari masera balak achi ghare. Ke felila हिन कहे भुजी भुजी हित भुजिते na pare. And nobody could understand who did this, because this child is a small child, just 4 months child. How 4 months child can break the pot and all these things? So nobody could understand. All were confused. Sabha parijanasi milila tathaya manushyera chinna matra keha nahi paya. So all the relatives, they came there and they were searching who did this, but they could not find any trace. What has happened? Who has done? They could not understand. Keha bole danava asi achile khare. Some danav must have entered. Raksha lagi shishura narila langi bhare. Oh, some protective mantra is very much required. Who is coming? Some demon is coming. And the demon is actually doing all these nonsensical things. So let us have Swasti mantra or protective mantra. The word Danav refers to offspring of Danu, the wife of Kashyap. The word Rakshalagi means by the influence of the protective mantra and Kavach amulets, which the Lord enjoyed. The word Narila means could not. Langi Bhari means to attack or commit violence. So Kavach, Vishnu Kavach, Narayan Kavach, like you have that small Kavach, we have Narsima Kavach. That all has to be tied for the children. Protective mantras should be given. The Kavach itself has Narsima Kavach written and that is put inside. So Narsima Kavach should be worn by every devotee. They should tie it in a black thread. They should not put it in the Tulasi beads. We have Tulasi Kanti. In that Kanti, we should not put. Because then you are actually not understanding the importance of Kanti. Kanti itself has the power to protect. And if you want to really protect, put Tulasi, then you can put it in some small golden chain, or you can put it in black thread. Shishulang Hivare Napaiya Krodhamane Apachaya Kori Palaila Nijasthane. When they, being unable to harm the child, he angrily made this mess and then fled away. So they are talking to each other. So some Dano must have come. Yes. Diti is some Danu. This is Danu. Diti is also known as Danu, wife of Kashyap. So this Danu's sons must have come. They're all Danav. And these demons came to actually harm the child. But they could not do that. That is why they have done all this mess and they have fled away. That is this way they were talking. Mishra Jagannatha dekhi chitte badadandha daiva henajani kichuna balilamanda. So he also saw this all mess, Jagannath Mishra, but he was very calm. He remained silent because he thought, okay, that is an act of providence. The word dhanda is derived from the Hindi word dhanda. That means doubt, perplexed, diversion of intelligence, madness, suspicion, problem, surprise, complication. The word daiva hena refers to the incident caused by providence. दैवे अपछाया देखी दुई जने चाहे बालक देखिया को न दुख नाही रहे. In spite of great wastage, Sachi and Jagannath forgot all the distress when they looked at the son's face. This is the ultimate love. Though the son has done all this mischief, but they were not aware. They thought this 4 months child, how the 4 months child can do all these things. Oh, some demon must have come. Somebody suggested, yes, some demon has come. Because they could not find out who has done. And then after in spite of all these things, the whole house is completely in the mess. But when they saw the beautiful face of Chaitanya, they were very happy and they completely forgot all the distress. Yei mata pratidine karela kautuka namakramera kala haila sammukha. So every day he used to do like this, something or the other mischief. And then the time came for his name giving ceremony, Namakarana. It's very important. 10 purificatory processes. Sometimes in South, if you find after 11 days only they will give. Some wait for 4 months and afterwards they will give. Nila, but that is also a very wonderful sanskara. One of the sanskara is Namakarana. At the time horoscope is seen. In the horoscope, the names come. The word comes. In that word only they will give. Nilambara Chakravarti Adi Vidyavana Sarva Bandhu Ganera Haila Upasthana. So everybody is present. Actually, in the naming ceremony, all the elders and all are present. Then the one who can read the astrological chart, he is also called. But in this case, it is Satyamata's father, Nilambara Chakravarti. He knew how to read the astrological chart. So everybody were present there, friends, relatives. Milila Vistara Ashi Prativrata Gana Lakshmi Praya Tipta Sabe Sindura Bhushana. So all the chaste, all ladies, they were looking very beautiful with sundur and they were looking practically effulgent like Lakshmi. So I see in our Hindu culture, right from the birth, there is something or the other sanskaras. Uttana sanskara, Balak Uttana sanskara. Again, worship of Lakshmi. Actually, they consider the Suhagana, like Lakshmis, and they worship. That means actually they are practically Krishna conscious. Our Hindu culture is actually Krishna conscious. Because of all this modernization, we have forgotten all these things. If you come to Bombay, they don't understand anything. Because the Western part is actually simple. Because all the sins and so much of sense gratification is there in the Western part. If you go towards the East, more and more, Eastern side, you will have a lot of the sanskaras which is emphasized, and this is very good because in these sanskaras, practically it is Krishna conscious. A person is completely surrendered to Krishna and he understands also. These are all the important functions where the sanskaras means this body has been given by Krishna, and even the protection for this body is also by Krishna only. And one has to use this body also in Krishna service. Nama tui bhare sabe kare ne vichara Sri Gana bola like Anya bola. So they were all discussing what name should be given. Okay, no, it has come, or C it has come. Because Gauranga, G was there, Vishwambhara, what name should be given? For Lord, what horoscope? Everything is by Krishna, everything is given by Lord only. So everybody is discussing what name to be given, what name to be given. Vishwambhara. Maybe in the chart, V must have come, Vishwambhara. The word Tuivara means to keep and is derived from Bangladesh Thoya. The ladies all said, Ihana Aneka Jeshta Kanya Putranai Sheshaye Janmaye Taranama se Nimai. Why don't you keep his name Nimai? Because you lost many daughters. This last child which is born, let his name be Nimai. Because there are many sisters for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who took birth and died prematurely before his advent. Therefore, the Lord was named Nimai so that he would not also die prematurely. Balena Vidvana Sabak Kartya Vichara Ekanama Yogya Naya Hayat Huite Ihara. And after consideration, they suggested an appropriate name for the child. And the scholars, they were all thinking what name should be the best. Then they suggested, yes, Nimai is a nice name. Ye Shishu Janmile Matra Sarva Deshe Deshe Durviksha Kuchila Vrishti Pailai Krishatke. And they said that actually when because the child is born, actually all the surrounding provinces have been devoid of famine and the farmers have had sufficient rains. So this child is very, very auspicious and is actually protecting everyone. So let his name be Vishwambhara. So after careful consideration again, they thought, yes, let this child's name is Vishwambhara. Since the birth of this child, his mercy has produced rains from the cloud of pure devotional service that has showered on the living entity's heart, which are compared to the farmer's fields burning from the threefold mysteries. Thus the seed of devotional service to Krishna has fructified and grown, and the absence of glorification of Lord Krishna has now been completely eradicated. So he has showered the mercy of rains, the mercy of the holy name, And that is how the living entity's consciousness, which was having a drought, means was having famine, it was all removed. It was so dry, but it became wet because of the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So here we will stop. 48 words next time.
Yes.
Yes.
Mataji, that is written as Sati Mata, not Shachi Mata.
Same thing I'm seeing that only. Again, I
think Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur is talking about someone else.
Who came out of that room.
Yeah, immediately, because she thought...
It is Satima. Satima, the wife of one Rama Saranapala, came out of the maternity room right after giving birth on the grounds that the child was a gift. Okay, just she came to declare. She's one of the friend of Sachimata. She came out of the maternity room right after giving birth. Giving birth here refers to she was a nurse. And she said that this child was a gift from Lord Hari. Because in the maternity room, you have the nurse also. She must be the nurse, Satima, the wife of one Rama Sharana Pala, Aula Sahajya sect. Yeah. Okay. Any other doubt?
Yeah. Can I ask Mataji? Hare Krishna, can I ask?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mataji, text number 11, it is written when the people saw his shadow. His shadow is referring to the demigod. So, do demigods have shadows? I never knew that.
See, they can come in any form. They don't have to have a shadow. If they want, they can show shadow also.
They created, manifested the shadow. Like
what is the meaning of shadow? What is the meaning of shadow? What is actually shadow? This side of the body. Yeah. The sun.
Materials and penumbra and umbra.
So now it is, yes. Umbra.
If you keep an obstacle in front of the lamp, the shadow is created because the light disperses from either side but does not pass through that opaque object. That is
penumbra. So now it is up to demigod. If they want, they can even make the light pass through the body. If they don't want, they will not make the light pass. They were doing some mischief now.
Yeah.
It's up to them.
There is a fun rasa involved, we can say, in this whole.
Yeah. Hasya rasa.
Next question
is
Mataji, why
Adbhuta rasa, Hasya rasa, these all combined together.
Adbhuta rasa and Hasya rasa. Okay, very nice. Next question is Mataji, it is said someone else would protect the 10 directions. We have often heard this phrase of 10 directions. Why only 10? Why not 12? Why not 8?
There's only 10 now. Where is 12? Tell me. East, west, north, south, northeast, northwest, northwest.
And up, down. Made like that. Man has made like that.
It's not man making. It is 10 directions. Simple. Up, down. It is 10 directions. Basically, they are known as Dasadisha. It's made of Krishna only. Dasadisha. Dishas are technically divided like that.
Next question is Mataji, Sasti is an imaginary village goddess. First of all, goddess, demigod involved, then upon that imaginary. So why this double effect? Why double?
So here, imaginary
village goddess.
Imaginary village goddess. Village goddess is not imaginary. It's not village goddess. Is imaginary. What is imaginary? Imaginary is she is protecting the whole village. That is imaginary.
That way. That angle.
So goddess are never imaginary. They are there. But the imagination is, oh, she's protecting my child. That is an imagination. Kula Devis are there. They are all the expansions of Durga only. Imagination, okay. Yes, Kula Devi protects our Kula.
Okay, Mataji, next, last 2 points. You know, this line came 2-3 times. The word so and so is the corruption of the word so and so. What does this meaning, corruption?
What do you say? What do you say? Radha, Ras, Bihari. Bihari is a corruption of the word Vihari.
Corruption means a change in the
बिगड़ा
terminology,
हुआ
a
sir,
change in the.
प्रभु जी, माता जी, if you
हाँ,
allow me, इससा
Hmm.
बिगड़ा हुआ शब्द, इससा there are in Hindi grammar there are tadbhav and tatsam words. So this is tadbhav word. This is actually बिगड़ा हुआ word. That's what
okay, got
corruption.
it.
Mispronounced.
Mispronounced, distorted.
Hmm. Like
Okay.
Hindu is a bigda hua word of Sindhu. So word Hindu.
Barabar. Last question. Mataji, it is read in 37 number, text 37. Someone said some demon must have come.
Hmm.
So this someone said that some demon must have come, but he's unable to attack the child because of protective mantras.
Hmm.
So what is the what I thought what I had a this thing that this is being done, this is being spoken so that Krishna wants to maintain the covering of the unknowing knowledge of Lord Chaitanya.
Yogamaya.
Yeah, yoga. So this is being done because of the yoga. Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you always.
Anyone else? So let us chant Narsimha prayers. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlādalādadāyine. Hiranyakashipurvakshah. Shilatankanakalaye. Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha. Yato yato yami tato Narsimha. Pahir Narsimha. Hridaye Narsimha. Narasimha Madin Sharanam Pravati. Tava Kara Kamala Vari Nakha. Adbhuta Shring.
Jai Jagadish. Jai Jagadish.
जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे जय हो नरसिंह देव जय जय नरसिंह देव नरसिंह देव जय हो नरसिंह देव जय हो प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय हो प्रहलाद महाराज जय 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 प्रभुपाद 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 उग्रवीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युं नमाम्यहं श्री नरसिंह जय नरसिंह प्रह्लादेश जय पद्मा मुखपद्मभृङ्गं पूज्याय राघवेन्द्राय सत्यधर्मरताय च भजतां कल्पवृक्षाय नमतां कामधेनवे अहोबिलेगालशीलमुदे कृपावशात् कल्पितसन्निधानं लक्ष्म्यासमालिङ्गितवामभागं लक्ष्मी नरसिंह शरणं प्रपत्ते वागीशयस्य वदने लक्ष्मीर्यस्य च वक्षसि यस्यास्ते हृदये संवित्तं नरसिंहमहं भजे प्रह्लादहृदयल्लादं भक्ताविद्याविदारणं शरदिन्दूर्जिं वन्दे पारीन्द्रवदनं हरिं गुरोऽप्यनुग्रहेवायं स्वभक्तानां नरकेसरी केसरी सपूतानाम् अन्येषां गुरविक्रमः हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So chant for Purushottam Prabhu. He is one of our very important devotee and a very wonderful devotee from Chembur. Every devotees are wonderful. So we have to pray for Purushottam Prabhu. All of you possible chant one round for him. Hare Krishna. So we'll end the class with Vancha Kalpitarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patita